folks, what's going on today? Hope you guys are all doing really good. Well, I wanted to wish all the mothers out there a belated happy Mother's Day. Hope you guys had an excellent day yesterday. I wanted to add that. Uh, Today we got the old Valley Arts out here. This is a Pre-Samick Valley Arts, made in California. Um, I've had this for a lot of years, guys. Basically, it was probably a few months old when I acquired it, and I have taken extremely good care of this guitar. There's no scratches or anything. There's one nick in the headstock right there, but other than that, that's it. It is getting a little yellowed just from age, but I only played a couple gigs with this that I remember, a couple shows. I just didn't want to take it out. It was too clean, and it had a really low serial number. And the other thing, the Standard Pros came with a black pick guard, and this one came with a white pick guard from the factory. And this is a 7/8 body, so it's smaller than a Stratocaster body, okay? And so you couldn't just go out and get a Strat guard and slap it on there and, just change the color. You had to get it from them or they had to do it. So I'm not sure if it was special ordered or it just, slid out of the factory like that. I've never seen another one with a white pick guard. That's really what I'm getting at. But so, like I said, there's three people that come to mind when I picked this guitar up, and like Mike McGuire, obviously, the guy that owned Valley Arts back then, and Steve Lukather and Larry Carlton. Both had signature guitars, Valley Arts. I think they had some sort of involvement in the company, possibly too. I could be wrong about that, but I think I remember hearing something about that back along in the day. Eventually, the company got sold to Samick, and I believe Gibson bought the company back, and they're still making them in Nashville, I think. So, anyway, this has been a really nice instrument for many years. I've pretty much just used it at home and in the studio here and stuff, and I've tried to keep it really clean and really nice. I will say one thing. This is, I've owned this since the early 90s, okay? I have never ever felt a fret sprout on this guitar, and I've never trussed the neck in this guitar since I've owned it. It has remained absolutely dead straight the whole time I've owned it. I own quite a number of guitars actually, and I don't have one that I can say the same thing about, what I just told you guys about this. Not one of them. They've all had to have like fret ends cleaned up over the years and stuff like that, but not this one. This thing is it's turnkey every time. It's got a really nice neck profile as well. So what I'm doing here is just taking it out, and I'm going through the annual checkup on some of my guitars here. So this one came out first. I'm going to change the battery in it because it has actives in it, and just give it a nice clean up. The strings don't feel too bad. Well, yeah, them ones need to be changed. So we're going to put some strings on it. Now what I just did is put my fingernail under the string, and you just move your finger along under it. If you feel some really big dents, like it's then you got to change your strings, because once they get dents on the bottom side of them really bad, they won't stay in tune anymore. So I usually get rid of them, throw a new set on. Now these ones aren't horrible, but I think I'm going to change them nonetheless. They've been on there for probably 8 or 9 months or so. So we'll get those changed and just look everything over and clean it up, change the battery, put some guitar polish on it. I'm going to oil the fretboard too, although it doesn't seem to be too dry. It stayed really nice. It's a nice rosewood board too. Just a cool guitar all the way around. It's got some nice tone in it. What we're listening to right now is the neck pickup, which was what I had it on when I played or attempted to play the Steve Lukather guitar part that he played on Michael Jackson's Human Nature. I wanted to get to that too. I just recently found out that he played that track on that Michael Jackson cut in an interview that Rick Beato was doing with him, and he pretty much said Quincy Jones handed him this song and it was pretty much done, but he said it sounded too poppy or something and wanted him to kind of like do something cool with it. And that guitar track that you hear on there is what he did. And in my opinion, that guitar line and that guitar track is the strongest hook in that song, surpassing the vocals without a doubt. And that's my opinion, but and I am a big Steve Lukather fan, so I might be a little lenient towards him, but I really mean that. That guitar track in that song is just so good. This I'm gonna do a lesson on it. I need to learn the song. What I just played was something I learned by ear about an hour ago, listening to the song and just noodling by ear. But that's what got me to get the guitar out. So that's a cool thing. Like people that when I see a black Stratocaster, I think of Clapton, David Gilmour. When I see a Sunburst one, it's like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Eric Johnson. There's things that kind of cue your memory about. It could be the color, it could be just the name or the shape. That you relate with a certain player or whatever. I think that's kind of cool, and that's kind of what that is with me and this Valley Arts guitar. I think Brent Mason plays a Valley Arts too, as well. He was another amazing guitar player. But the first guys, like I said, that came to mind, it's kind of in this era when this guitar came out. It was Steve Lukather and Larry Carlton. I never played the Larry Carlton Telly one they made, but I did play a Steve Lukather one. I tried it out just real quick one time. I didn't get to plug it in, but it was a beautiful guitar and it played really well. This one's no exemption. 24 fret, and like I said, this thing is as straight as a runway. It's just amazing how great this thing has stayed. It just really shocks me. I might be overemphasizing it some. It may seem, but I repair guitars all the time, and I own a ton of them. So there's always one that needs some attention, and it's never this one. It's just change the battery, new strings, and turnkey. You're ready to go. So yeah, I do want to learn that tune like through and through, and just those little it's so 80s and just like perfect though, and it fit that song so good. And like everything that he played was a hook. It's just how do you do it? My brain just don't work like that. Even like the intro, where does that come from? I don't know. Maybe that's just what he felt. I don't try to look into it too deep because I know a lot of times it's not like they're sitting down and penning this masterpiece with music notation and writing multiple charts. A lot of times it's just they come in and boom, there it is, the first thing that they kind of felt and heard in their head, and bang, it's on the record and it's a hook. Really cool stuff. I do think the first time you attempt something on a song or a piece of music, a lot of times it really is worth keeping because it can be the best a lot of times because the energy and just you're not really worrying about anything because you really don't know the tune. You're just trying to get in there and make it feel good. So, he said, like he got that gig not because he could, do all this tapping and fast playing and all that stuff. It was because he could go, and he never overplayed it. His tone was perfect. Just amazing, amazing stuff. And uh, that stuff, where do you get that? I mean, it's just really good stuff. So anyway, it doesn't sound amazing on its own, just sitting here playing it by yourself, but when you play that along with the record, it really feels good under your hands. And that's the whole point of this. Uh, you know, that's what makes a hook, and that's what makes it groove. It has to feel good while you're doing it under your hands, and just that song does that, especially when you play along with it. It's just really cool, and hats off to him. He's played on so many records. He probably has played on more records than all of us own combined. I mean, and well deserved. He must have learned that when he was really young, how to be reserved, not overplay. It's not about you, it's about the artist, and it's more than anything about the song and what you deliver and what you either add or take away from it. Now, I can only imagine with his skill set. I mean, this guy can shred, he can he can do it all. And to be able to be that reserved, not overplay, not make it about yourself as a guitar player, but just, I'm here to make this thing sound great and groove. That's it. And that's what they're paying me for. He really figured that out at a young age. He had to have, because I'm sure he would be swamped if he still did studio work right to this day. I can only imagine. I'm sure he got burned out doing it too. It's probably not the funnest job in the world all the time, especially in today's world. It was a little more laid back then, and rock star kind of laid back stuff, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, watch one of his interviews, because he does go into a deep dive sometimes on the crazy antics and stuff that went on. Really cool stuff. Fun to listen to. He just seems like a real good guy and just an awesome player. And again, if he wouldn't have played this guitar, it might not have brought me to that track today, just because of the name on the headstock. I just think that's a really cool thing. And, when I see Ludwig drums, I think instantly of Bonham and Ringo. Those were the two guys that put him on the map the most, in my opinion. So, it's just kind of a cool thing. I know everybody nowadays has a signature guitar out and that kind of stuff, which these guys didn't even have to sign their name on it, and it became a signature guitar because of what they did with it. I think that weighs a little bit more, at least with me. Nothing against signatures or anything like that, but it was what they did with the guitar that really made it great and made that association with the name on the headstock and their name, in my opinion. So anyway, folks, I thought I'd share that with you, and I will do a lesson on this. I'll figure the song out right. First of all, that was just kind of BS there. Something I figured out by ear, like I said, just noodling along with the tune for a couple minutes. But I think there's a lot of cool things to be had just in that one track. A lot of dynamics, muting, timing. There's just so many things that are going on there that you really have to learn the track and play it along with the record to really fully understand what I'm getting at and what that feels like to be in that pocket and have all them dynamics happening with it, the muting, the timing, everything, uh, it's just it's just a cool feeling. It doesn't always have to be fast, like I said, to be a rush or have that intensity. Even just grooving along with just getting something like that clicking with other musicians. It gets to the point where it's almost drone like, and you honestly can't even make a mistake once it gets clicking. Really, really fun stuff. And I could feel that and sense that in that track, I guess, was where I was going with this. But, once I played along with it, I was like, yeah, there's no doubt. When you play something that's a really good hook and it's in the pocket like that, you will get that experience and that feeling, and that's the stuff you want to shoot for on your own records. Adding accompaniment to a piece in a band, or what have you. You want to kind of strive for that feeling. At least I do. If it feels good, it is good. In my opinion. So anyway, folks, I won't blabber on anymore here, but I'm gonna get my guitar on the bench and give it the once over. Like I said, oil the fretboard up and just check everything out. Everything looks absolutely mint, so I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. It's just like I said, a battery change. Wipe any dust off it that's on it, and I did have a switch that was. The pots feel good and the switch does too. At first, the switch was making a little noise, but it seemed to come out of it, so must have been just a little speck of dust in there or something. Other than that, the guitar feels good, like I said, and the action has not changed since whatever 1992 or something like that. I think that's about when this come out, maybe right around there. In any case, this is one of my prized possessions in my collection for sure. I've really worked hard at keeping this guitar in good condition, and went through some hardships and hard times. Even financially, and just wouldn't sell it. I sold some other ones, but I always kept this one. I knew I would deeply regret the day that I sold this. As even cheap guitars, I still regret selling them, but this one would have hurt a little more, I think. So, you can't just find these like this, not in this condition nowadays. They're becoming, something they call vintage even. So, again, folks, I really appreciate you watching these videos. Uh, Welcome to all the new subscribers as well, and thank you to all the original subscribers, and you guys are great. Thank you for all the support, all the kind comments, and all the info that's exchanged in the comments section. I really do enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. I love learning stuff myself from you guys, so it doesn't have to be me teaching and exchanging information, which is really nice. Like I said, so I'll get to it. I'll get some more videos up, and I will post one on that track. So it's going to be kind of hit and miss here in the upcoming weeks. I have been talking with a doctor, and I got we've made some sort of plan to address this thing that's growing on my kidney right now. So hopefully I can get that taken care of really soon and start ramping up to greatness again. It's not excruciating, but it's like in between uncomfortable and excruciating. It's just annoying more than anything, and I just want to get it taken care of and move on. So hopefully that will happen real soon, but I may miss a few days here and there, and I just wanted to let you guys know that. Uh, but when I can do this, and if I feel up to it, I'll try to do a video, like I usually do every day, and keep this going. So thanks again, folks. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys real soon. Be good. Okie doke.